Welcome everybody. Thanks so much for watching this video in the next series of the Asynchronous Method Symposium by the Stories of Change Signature Research Area. Today I'll be interviewing Lydia from the Digital Scholarship Center here at the University of Alberta. They are located on the second floor of Cameron Library, and they have a bunch of wonderful resources for researchers, and they're also fairly new. So this will be a wonderful opportunity to learn a bit more about them. So thank you, Lydia. And I will just dive into the first question, which is, in 3 sentences or less, what does the Digital Scholarship Center do?
Sure. We grow expertise in using digital technologies for research and learning. This means that we provide access to spaces and tools like visualization, data analysis, fabrication, and media production. We also foster hands-on experience with these technologies through workshops and one-on-one consultations.
Wonderful, that's awesome. Great, and then the next question that I have is, what kinds of stories can the Digital Scholarship Center help to tell, leveraging your unique skills and resources?
We can help with telling stories about how knowledge is changed through the use of digital technologies. I think this is a very interesting area. For example, what does it mean to study history when most information is web-based, networked, and ephemeral? What counts as research when we sew a dress that lights up in different colors based on air quality fluctuations? Is it still publishing when a PhD student raps or dances their dissertation? I mean, the answer is yes. How does one map the colonial past and present using platforms designed with extractive and exploitative logics? To me, these are the questions behind what gets put on the grant application. They emerge when we begin working with the methods that technologies afford, what they enable us to do and what they limit us from doing, as well as how they implicate us in the history of knowledge production and reproduction.
Awesome, perfect. Yeah, those are some great questions to kind of ask ourselves and analyze. Totally. Awesome. And then our next question is, what do you wish that U of A researchers, both students and faculty, know about the Digital Scholarship Center that might not be obvious from your website?
It's a great one, and it's always on our minds, I think. Academia teaches us that we must be experts in all aspects of the research process, and that to ask for help would be somehow cheating. We get this sense a lot, especially from early career researchers. We want to convey again and again that some of the most successful researchers routinely ask for help. Not only do you learn something new by reaching out, so whether it's to a librarian or a colleague, but it's also more fun. We want to inject more joy into the very serious scholarly process, because learning is a social activity that is non-linear and inherently rewarding.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Like, definitely injecting the fun back into scholarship. That's great. Great. And then one of our final questions is, can you please give one real-life example of the Digital Scholarship Center helping to tell an important story with U of A researchers?
Yes, for sure. The Stitching the Curve project, which began as a conversation about how we can do data physicalization, turned into a library-wide effort to represent COVID-19 provincial daily case numbers in knitted form. So we were interested in exploring this practice of, physicalization of data or representation of data in different ways. So the power of this project, in our opinion, comes from the longitudinal approach to representing data, in this case, a full year's worth of stats, as well as bringing the completed scarves together for a larger comparison. This is ultimately a very sad project because it documents death, but it also draws on the history of women's labor in turning abstract information relayed by governments into material experiences. Our goal is to be able to experience these scarves or swatches as a kind of installation in our center in some foreseeable future. One way to animate the space, but also allow for sort of impromptu or non-intrusive conversations with our staff by people who use the space. So that's our goal.
That's awesome. And what a wonderful example. That's really amazing. Perfect. And then the final question that I have today is, what is the best way for researchers to learn more about the Digital Scholarship Center, or also to get in contact with the center if they're interested in using some of your services?
Well, we've recently cleaned up our website to reflect the focus on remote services offered, and contacting us by email remains the best way to connect. It's always been the case. So depending on the nature of the question, we may pair you up with our technology librarian or academic director or a member of the library team in areas like data management, publishing, or preservation, for example. So it really depends on the nature of the question, but you know, the website and email has been our primary door in, and so it remains the same way now.
Perfect. Awesome. Great. So I think that will be the end of the interview. So thank you again so much, Lydia, for speaking and discussing a little bit about the Digital Scholarship Center. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.